I'm catching a lot of flack from our Sox brethren on the Frustrated Chicago channel for them not being in the intro video.
As far as what?
They say why Tiffany gets 7 seconds in the intro video. We can't even get 2.
Not them being jealous.
I was about to say that sounds very. First of all, wait a minute. Okay, you asked a general question, but then when you said why Tiffany get it and I don't, like, wait a minute.
These new night skins really be acting different and sassy and
that's
zesty.
A different level of hate, man. First of all, I didn't request 7 seconds.
What is with these night skins? Like, they were the last to join the team. Why are they? They're so worried about inclusion. Oh my God.
I mean, goodness, maybe I need to go watch it. I didn't know I was the star. I didn't ask for that. So please, no hate on my end, okay? I didn't ask for this.
Is every episode about them crying about their pay? They don't cry about what the White Sox pay. You won't work for the White Sox.
Watch it. Relax. Chill. I need to see what all the hate is about. I'm sure it's warranted.
Do they need their spot on the intro? Is that what they need?
Well, we're all a family, so they do have a legitimate gripe. I did leave them out, but in my defense, they be in the car.
Both of them be in there together. They should do the podcast in the car together.
They should. That would be fun.
Yeah, they should be in the car together. Since they like driving around so much, get in the car together.
Since they like driving around and hating so much.
Drive and complain. You would think after you win 42, 43 games, that would be the source of your complaining events.
Simmer down. Simmer down. Relax.
You're right.
Relax.
Now, I'm just saying there's a lot to complain on in the White Sox land. I didn't think you complained about the intro of the show. Maybe be a legit baseball team first. I don't know.
Relax.
There's a lot to complain about, and we're gonna get our roll off on that emotion a little bit later. But we do want to keep this jovial attitude. While I got y'all, let's go. Goods from Monday Night Football Week 15, and hopefully you all advance in your fantasy football leagues. I hope that's a part of the good.
I started Brock Purdy on Thursday night. Saquon wasn't Saquoning. Darnell Mooney got the start. George Pickens was hurt. I think Darnell gave me a 0. Definitely gave me a 0. The irony is, if I'd have started Aaron Rodgers, I'd be on the round 2, high scoring team in the league. Missed the bye by 0.75 points. Missed the bye week by 0.75 points. Lost. I didn't start Aaron Rodgers. Started Purdy before. Them 49ers, man, they've been rough on me this year.
Doesn't it make you dislike Aaron just a little bit more?
Oh yeah.
Trash all season, then you get rid of him. Now he balls. What about for the Bears? What's the good from Monday Night Football?
A lot of fun, right? Stevenson got an interception, even though we kind of lost yards technically if it would have just been the 4th down, instead of the interception.
No one said he was a high IQ player.
Well, we know that already.
I mean, but I don't fault him for that, because if he try to bat it down and then the receiver catch it, now we got you know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily fault him for catching that interception. He's been traumatized enough with batting and doing all of that, so I do not blame him for that. I mean,
I love the celebration. I love the celebration. No matter what's going on the scoreboard or in your season, you celebrate. You celebrate your wins, Tyreek. Hey. I feel like that meme with the dudes in the mirror pointing at itself.
He said he finally got it right. So he's gonna celebrate that.
I'm gonna celebrate.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that for him.
I love that for him. Swift had some good runs. He would have had a touchdown, but you know how Bears do. That's a few sparing goods, air quote.
Good is DeAndre Swift. In our preview that me and Q did, we highlighted how the Vikings were the second best rush defense in the league. And we highlighted how DeAndre Swift had 30 yards rushing against the Minnesota Vikings the first time he saw him, 60 yards from scrimmage in that game altogether. He had 79 on the ground by itself Monday Night Football. I'll take that. In fact, if you look at it from the whole season, this is his fourth highest as far as rushing yards on the season. But those three other games, he had 129 against the Washington Commanders. He had 91 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had 93 against the Rams. All three of those rushing defenses are mid to bad. Minnesota's the second best rushing defense in the league. 79 against them, 4.2 yard average. Should have had a touchdown. So that's my good. We'll talk about why he didn't have a touchdown in a second. Shout out to the boy, DeAndre Swift, who I still think shouldn't be on this team, but
he's about the best we've had this season, so I don't,
I think my good is there's only 3 more games of this to watch, and then we can start our off season. That's the good. Not losing any more draft leverage in the draft. There's some guys I like in the draft. There's guys I like in the draft that I would love to be Bears. And at our current position, we have a chance that all the prospects I like that could do good things for the Bears if the Bears want good things done for them and want to coach people and, win games and not be bad.
Not be bad for the millionth time.
Not be bad.
Let's talk about the draft. That's what I said in my recap video. Oh, let's get excited about the draft for the 400th time. Oh, that's so fun. It's not fun. It's not fun.
I prefer getting excited for the playoffs, but hey,
it's the opposite.
The Bears guys don't agree with us.
And you know what I don't want to get excited about, even though this is not in the good category. I don't want to hear any more Ben Johnson stuff. I don't know. I'm not on his tip. I know you two are, but
why does it have to get gay? Why can't it just be you all are fans of Ben Johnson? Why do we have to be on his tip? Why do we have to be there? Let's start there. Why his tip? We have to talk.
I mean, my mind didn't go there, but since yours did, whatever word.
What other tip could we be on? Why are we there? I don't want to be there. I've never wanted to be on a tip in my life. Why do I have to be on a tip? Why can't I just say Ben Johnson is a nice coach? I like nice coaches. I want a nice coach in Chicago.
And we don't have to get off on this tangent, but is he?
No, we could be here. There's nothing else for us to do here. We're just here for the up to time with the same loss. So we can be here now.
Do we know that for a fact? Or is he another Matt Nagy? Or is he
we don't know anything for a fact, Tiffany. We're Bears fans. We are Bears fans. We don't know anything. All we know is we're tired of losing, and it keeps happening to us. We're in a league.
I get it, but is he the answer? I don't know. Like, has he proven anything? Honestly, like, yes,
do you have an answer to this?
Their team is buzzing, but is that because of him? And is he going to come here and have us buzzing?
The only one way we'll know this. Well, what's your answer, quarterback? Head coach.
There you go. You had a Freudian slip there, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a Freudian. You got me. Bring back Justin Fields right now, damn it. He's a free agent. Bring him back. God damn it, bring him back.
We can get back on track for this game, but I just wanted to toss my IDK about Ben Johnson because everybody act like he just, if we can get Ben Johnson, Ben, and Ben coming with a list of like, hold on, sir, you got a list of all this, that, and the third, and you ain't did nothing yet. Relax, simmer down a little bit, Bucko. Okay, but let's get back on track.
Let's get back on track. That's my good. That's all I'm going to give. That's all you guys are going to get. You're a Bears fan. Listen, that's all you deserve. Don't ask more for me. You don't even ask more for your team.
We didn't do anything. We're just cheering for a team that can't win.
Sure? You sure you didn't do anything? You listen, everybody has some accountability in this bad season. I don't care from front office to coaching staff to players to fans to the man selling a hot dog. in the goddamn concession stands.
No,
Everybody
I don't
is
have
doing
no
it.
accountability. I gave them all the good
I got
energy
the
they could
floor.
ever
You're
get.
going to take the blame too. Everybody is going to take the blame.
I'm not taking no blame. I'm not
You
taking
didn't cheer hard enough.
You guys can
Cheer
shake your
better.
heads with all your we were Pollyanna all season all you want to. I gave nothing but positive vibes. Nothing
Not
but
enough.
optimism. And that shit down the drain. So maybe I need to do the opposite. Maybe I need to come with pessimism finally. And
maybe you need to go spread your bad vibes to the Packers. How about you do that?
Oh, thank you. You the one drafted Aaron Rodgers and all these former Packers. I don't want nothing to do with
I didn't draft him. He was just picked out of the free agent pool to come do some good for my team.
That sounds very likely. Sounds likely.
I don't want to go too far into this, but I tell everybody when they say, well, when they question about is this coach going to be the right fit or whomever, are you sure they gonna fix whatever we got going on? They have to sell it in the interview, right?
Yeah, but he seems like he wants to be sold. He's the prize to him. Hey, do your thing, bro. I want you to think you the prize, but he's the prize to him. He like, you gotta still win me over. And I get it. He's coveted. So maybe that is the market. But all I'm saying is let's not act like, all I hear is, as soon as we get Ben Johnson, baby, people thought that about Matt Nagy. People thought that about Brian Daboll. People thought that about whose buddy who went to college and about to come back. Like, there's been a lot of offensive coordinators where people been like, oh, that offense is so humming. As soon as XYZ gets their own team, they're going to have them, and it doesn't work out. That's all I'm saying. Not saying Ben not the guy. He may be. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he can, he'll have a good say in what offensive line we could draft and all of that good stuff too. But
we'll see. In a future episode, we would definitely dive into that a lot deeper. Let's go. Bats.
This could be bad or ugly, but I'm going to go with our rookie lineman, Jabaji from Yale, our good fella from Yale. It was just bad after bad after bad. I mean, he was put in a bad situation. Braxton Jones didn't show concussion signs until like the day before the game or something. So, but he didn't get any first team reps. So it's just about, he's already a developmental player anyway. Then he's kind of thrown into his first start with no first team reps, and it showed every way it could show. He had several penalties. He let the guy through on that crucial sack fumble, whatever happened. It just was bad. He looked bad. And ironically, of course, everybody finds everything on the internet. So, there was a news story that had a clip of him when he got drafted talking about how Caleb wasn't going to be touched behind him. And I'm like, well, that was a lie. Everybody was lying on draft day for our team. Okay. So if I had to pick a bad that, you all may not pick, that's going to be my bad. The award goes to our buddy from Yale.
Bad was the defense, and not just bad as in, I guess their performance. It's just that the defense has dropped down significant levels since the first 5 games of the season. They don't seem to have the enthusiasm. They're blowing assignments. It's just, I don't know. It's depressing to watch a unit that was looking like one of the best units in football become a below average unit.
Tiff, you were saying, Kyron Amadaji, the rookie left tackle that filled in for Braxton Jones. Yeah, Braxton didn't report any concussion symptoms until Saturday. So yeah, it's a terrible spot to put that young man in. However, you said he's a developmental player. You do not draft developmental players in the 3rd round. Not at all. I can't believe. I'm not calling you a liar. I don't know if I've ever heard that anybody say that he was a developmental player. And if he is, That is another fireable offense for Mr. Ryan Poles. Not only did he draft a developmental player in the 3rd round, allegedly, but he drafted a punter in the 4th.
Well, I mean, I could be misspeaking. Maybe the way he played made me feel like he was a developmental player. I don't know. Maybe he was
definitely a developmental player. He definitely is a developmental player.
I was about to say, I thought we had that combo on here before. So but I didn't know who he was previous. I wasn't watching Yale's games like that. I wasn't watching much Ivy League, but he certainly He certainly looked like a developmental player and has every single time he's played this year. Because this isn't the first time he's played. It's just the first time he started. He's looked like a project. So I could have misspoke, but it definitely looked like one.
I know we can get into a whole episode, and I think we should get into a whole episode about Mr. Ryan Poles' tenure here in Chicago, how it could be ending and why it could be ending. And there's been some good moves by Ryan Poles. However, he drafted and made moves for a team he doesn't have. You were coming off a 7-win season on the heels of a 3-win season. On the heels of, I know you weren't here before, but a 6-win season. You drafted as if all holes were plugged, and if you had a team that is a year-to-year contender. You took a luxury pick in the 4th round that was a punter. I just don't see why we're drafting punters in the 4th round. And then you took a 3rd round tackle who is a developmental tackle. Ryan Poles, unless I'm missing something, this is a result-based business, and you don't have a lifetime contract. You got to draft with a sense of urgency. You got to sign free agents. I'm looking in the division, and the Packers signed 2 big impact free agents. Josh Jacobs at running back, Xavier McKinney at safety. Both will be in the Pro Bowl. Not that anybody cares about the Pro Bowl anymore. Both possibly be on all-pro teams at the end of the year. And the guy who laid Caleb out for a strip sack while we were driving, Greener, that was a free agent too. The whole division was improving in the offseason, and you were signing Damon Shelton and trading for Ryan Bates.
I think Bears fans have been quite generous because of the Ward, 1st round pick, because he's gotten a lot more, those I can never say his name right. Claypool and those kind of moves are kind of, we'll forgive that. We'll forgive this, but when you think about the draft, man, it can be a lot of misses. And I know every draft, every team has misses, but I say all that to say,
listen, I understand there's misses. But
some of the decisions, right? Period. No matter how good this punter is, right? Facts. I agree. I don't disagree.
Ivy League guy in the 3rd who's not ready to contribute right now. Oh, you're on a team
on a line that we don't have the luxury. If we had, I don't know who, the Colts back in the day line or something, like if we had the luxury to say, we're gonna bring this guy along, because our line is super solid for the next 3 years. Yeah. But we don't have that, baby. We got guys now on this line.
You need guys that can come in and play right now. Not guys who are going to be, by the time Kyron, and I'm not going to butcher his last name, by the time he's good, Post, you might not be here.
Especially since it ain't looking like the O-line coach is just really out there coaching them up. It don't seem like any of our coaches are superstars out there. The Poles point, I keep hearing or seeing in the news that he's picking the next GM now.
I would assume Poles would say 3 consecutive double-digit losses seasons. I don't really care who you are in the NFL. Jobs aren't going to be safe. There is kind of no excuse to have 3 seasons of double-digit losses. I can't.
Go ahead. I was supposed to say the way this season's losses are going. We most likely 90% are going to finish with less wins than we did last year. When our roster was pretty, Now this roster was supposed to be able to do something. So it's like this year is just so highly unacceptable, and it's been so visible in the ridiculous ways that we've lost that have been played over, and they're referenced every freaking time. Oh God, Buddy caught the Hail Mary in the Falcons game. Every time it's a Hail Mary, from now for the next 10 years, the Bears are going to be mentioned in that damn game. That's going to happen. And it's like that was the whole season. And it's like, it's just been so publicly bad. I would be very surprised. The only thing that stops me from thinking we'll get rid of polls is how slowly our organization moves with everything and does things so ass backwards. But I do feel like Warren may be like, nah, we about to totally start over. Like we got to blow it up. He was sitting up there yesterday on his laptop, just clicking away. Like, bro, you need to click something else. You better click the draft of your life if you still here.
Man, the way the season is evolving, I wouldn't have said this 4 weeks ago. Like could be in danger.
I mean, I would assume it is, but I could be wrong. Like I said, they could give him a chance under a coach that I'm hearing he still won't necessarily be picking, but they could give him a little bit more leeway. But it's going to be interesting to see.
But the thing is, if they pick a veteran coach or a commodity like Ben Johnson, like you said, Ben Johnson coming with a list. But if you hire a veteran coach, a guy like Vrabel, or you traded for Shanahan or McVay, you better believe they're going to want some personnel input. Yeah, it's not going to be like Matt Eberflus, just happy to be here and going along and company man and excited about. Poe's going to lose a little bit of power in that problem.
When they were talking about the coaching job, is a coach like Ben Johnson or whomever who is a hot commodity, is he going to want to come into a situation where the GM is under, fire? Like that's all things that are, I'm sure, going to be considered.
That's a big reason why Poe should be gone. You didn't. To me, I spoke on it. I said, if you are insistent on drafting Caleb Williams and moving Justin Fields, which I'm cool with, even though I was a Justin fan. I get it. I understand. He's going to have to get a big contract by this offseason. You got to make a decision. And he didn't necessarily prove he is the man. He showed flashes. He played good at times. He was playing good when he came back with the thumb, but I understand it's a win-based result business. So, okay, you move on from Justin Fields. I still understand bringing back Eberflus, because to me, Justin Fields is better at his job as a quarterback than Eberflus was as a head coach. And if you're going to start with the fresh quarterback, you want to pair him with the new head coach.
And you also want to pair with somebody who maybe knows offense. And if maybe, is going to play to Caleb's strengths, which again, I think was the main cry from most of us for Justin's full tenure, that nobody played to his strengths. So can we bring in a coach that can play to Caleb's strengths?
That's the other thing. Like, I think they neglected you had to look at Justin Fields and you had to ask, okay, yeah, we're moving on from him. We decide he's not the guy. But before we just move on and decide he's not the guy, let's try to understand why maybe he was not the guy. There's some organization failure.
Could it be anything on us and not fully on him? Yeah, but
exactly. Before you bring in another guy, and you stunt his growth. It's like getting in a relationship. Once you just got out of one and you still got the same little red flag flying, you're gonna ruin the next one too. So it's like maybe they should have thought maybe Eberflus isn't a guy at developing quarterbacks. Maybe that's why Justin didn't reach his potential here. Did you give Eberflus a new shiny toy? He just had a shiny toy he couldn't do nothing with.
That would be too much like right. That would be like us not completely doing the
that
same
would be like
of having an old GM who's on the ropes draft and then keep him and then fire. That would be too much like right for us to like
a real organization. That would be too much like that. Yeah, you're right. That would be too much like how you supposed to. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna go back to your point, Q, of your bad. You the defense. The last handful of weeks, it hasn't been as strong as we were, as they haven't played up to their potential, right? Last night during Monday Night Football, the Vikings were 6 of 12, I think, on third downs. I think 3 or 4 of them were more than 9-yard conversions. Like they had third and long and they converted those. That's more emblematic of the issue that I think this whole team is just falling apart. Even the strength of this team is falling apart. Tyreek Stevenson, Tiff, you mentioned he had an interception. That might be a trauma response to intercept that ball instead of just knock it down so we can keep the yards. However, that's again more emblematic of the issue with this team: bad coaching, team poor awareness.
It definitely feels like Groundhog Day watching these games.
Not even exciting losses anymore, you know.
No, that's what I'm saying. At least we had exciting losses. I kind of miss the Eberflus heart attack era. Like now we're just getting beat like we did back in the day.
At least he got us to the end of the game.
At least he got us to the end of the game, feeling like we may finally win one, and then
bring back Eberflus.
But I know for a second week in a row, though, he was sitting at home drinking, having shots, throwing it up like, yeah, bitches. I thought y'all were going to be better when I left.
Well, Vilas is probably, as Pay would say, very wrongly, Vilas is probably petting his pet otter right now, you know.
Oh, Vilas is definitely, we're 0-8 since we got rid of Vilas Jones Jr. Oh, he's definitely...
He's somewhere probably stroking that pet otter watching.
He definitely is feeling like, yeah, buddy. Hex you, little bitches.
Yeah.
Now, blame me again for everything.
My bad from yesterday was that red zone. The Bears one time get into the red zone. That's sequence. We struggled all first half to move the ball with any kind of consistency. I don't want to pile on the left tackle. It was a terrible situation to put in, but you know he shouldn't be on the field. In any case, he should be a practice squad player. You know, I don't know why. I have to believe there's better practice squad players around the league than this guy, but he's not my bad right now. My bad is that series that we had in the red zone. We finally get down there. We get the ball on the 1 yard line, and I have a mini panic attack. I see Doug Kramer in the backfield. And you all remember the last time you saw him in the backfield, right? Fumbled the ball. So I swear to God, if they hand this ball off to that fat boy one more time, I'm going to chew a shoe. Miraculously, they did not pass. They did not give him the ball. They used him as a fullback, and he laid that boy out. I mean, he laid the wood. No diddy. He met the Vikings defender in the hole, smashed him, and DeAndre Swift ran up his back again, no diddy, and scored a touchdown. Flag on the play, bring it back. Why did they bring it back? Because number 68, Doug Kramer, did not report eligible.
And how does that happen at this level of football?
That's what I'm saying, because they the announcers were like, oh, well, maybe nobody coached them up and told them, well, damn, you ain't ever went in as a fullback before you have. Shit, why don't you know that you're supposed to do that? It wasn't like the Detroit situation where maybe, I forget, I think they were trying to do a trick play or some shit. And no, he went over there, but there was, confusion whether he reported or not. It wasn't, he didn't even look the ref's way. He didn't even have a thought that he needed to do anything.
You know, that's when you're coming to work and just going through the motions. You're not going over the details of your assignment. You're just like, you know what? Got to go to work tonight. Overtime. It's a Monday night. Maybe we just get in here and do what I'm supposed to do and get back home. And damn it, I forgot to send that email. That very important email I was supposed to send. I didn't send it.
We've all been there.
It's like you professionals, bro. I get coaching players up, But damn, when you go in, does the coach have to tell you, "Hey, don't forget to report"?
Does he got to put your cleats on for you? Does he got to put your mouthpiece in your mouth for you? I mean, does he
facts
put
like
shoulder
come
pads
on,
on
man?
your body?
And again, this isn't like he's never done fullback. I don't know. It's just like, man, we can't blame everything on coaches. We didn't fire half the coaching staff at this point. Like at some point, these professional athletes got to be professional athletes, and they got to be accountable for something.
You would think, because they keep putting him in the backfield, that he has some type of background in the backfield, right? Maybe at a lower level, he was a fullback, running back, maybe even running back at Pop Warner, whatever. I don't know, but that's my working assumption, that the coaches, they see something in his background that puts him in the backfield, right? But the first time we saw him, week 8 against the Commanders, he couldn't get a clean handoff. Like he just bobbled it, like he didn't know what he was doing down there. This time he doesn't know the report. I'm led to believe that he doesn't know what he's doing back there, which means I'm led to believe he shouldn't be back there, which means this is part his problem and part coaching and part Ryan Poles. Coaches, if you're going to put somebody in a position that they shouldn't be in, you got to coach him up. You got to coach him up more than you coach somebody else up. 2, Ryan Poles, we obviously have a need for a fullback. You cut the one we had, the professional fullback we had. You cut him, and now we got to put also rans back there, guys who shouldn't be back there, and they're costing us. They're costing us points. This is on you again, bro.
Games, because maybe if Doug Kramer didn't fumble in that Commanders game. I know we got the ball back and eventually scored. Maybe that game, the trajectory of that game changed when we scored that touchdown right there. We don't even get to the Hail Mary. And maybe we don't get to some of this bad moments of the season. Maybe we have a little bit more good vibes and we're able to, win a couple more games. And maybe I should just be grateful that we're having all this bad luck and bad performances, because, this is just in your face that things need to change. There's no hiding. There's no heading into the offseason. You're not heading into the offseason with feel good and optimism this time. Last year you finished 7-10 after starting off 0-4. The defense had you feeling good. Having 2 top 10 picks had you feeling good. There's nothing to feel good about. You got to go into this offseason and work. You don't get in the offseason and be picky about, well, we're going to build through the draft and not pursue these free agents that have these high cap numbers. So we're not going to talk to Danielle Hunter. We're not going to talk to Jonathan Greener. We're not going to talk to Lloyd Cushenberry or Xavier McKinney or even Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs. So there's nothing to feel good about. It's to think. It's bad all over. You have to look at every single facet of this football team, every position.
After the play came back, DeAndre Swift was again able to run the ball back to the 1. What happened next?
The Yale guy got a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah. He got a call for holding.
If I like that could be his new name, Yale guy. We're not going to struggle.
I'm not even going to attempt his last name. No disrespect to him. I don't want to butcher it like that. Yeah, he's going to be Yale guy for me.
Mr. Yale guy.
He's going to continue to try to mess it up. You just call his first name.
Yale guy.
Yale man. I had said his name a few times today, but now
Yale man.
Sometimes.
Yale man.
The Yale man got called for holding, so we got pushed back again. Eventually, this drive stalls out, and we end up having to kick a field goal. Oh, not to mention, Caleb got hit again after that play. Just a terrible sequence in a whole season of terrible sequences. At some point, I don't know, man. You get hit enough in the face, you learn to, cover up, right? We keep getting hit in the face, and we just keep putting our hands behind our back like we Roy Jones. We think we Roy Jones, but we really not. We Roy Jones in the Tarver fight. That's what's happening right
now. I told people Roy was going to lose that fight too, and I got cussed out. And told I didn't know what I was talking about. But okay, I just had to laugh at that one.
You don't remember that fight, Tiffany?
I'm not a big boxing person. I mean, I'm sure I watched it, but
did you watch the Tyson Jake Paul fight?
The who? No, Mike Tyson and no. No wasting my time with that foolishness. No, it's a no for me. I'm not a Jake Paul fan anyway.
A lot of people weren't Jake Paul fans, and that's why they watch the fight.
I get it. Yeah, a lot of I
know. That's exactly why people watch the fights too, hoping that somebody punches him right in his face.
And Mike said, "Nope, not today. It won't be me. I'm getting this check."
Mike said, "He getting his money."
I have a cut the crap award. So let's get to our ugly. Q. What was the ugliest thing from this latest loss from the Bears?
Now you put me on the box. You said the ugliest thing. Like, it was all ugly. I don't know. It's hard for me to highlight what was just it was ugly from the opening kick. We didn't give up a touchdown on the opening drive, right? We just gave him a field goal on the opening drive. And then we gave up a touchdown on the next drive, or was it the third drive? I really can't pinpoint ugly. I'm sorry. I can't just say offensive line. I feel like that's lazy. I mean, do I got to go offensive line again? There was a play. Okay, the one play that disgusted me the most. The play that disgusted me the most, and it's probably my fault. I probably should be disgusted at myself for my expectations. But the Vikings blitzed a lot. I don't even think this was a blitz. They lined. I don't know if you all are familiar with Jonathan Metellus, kind of a safety linebacker hybrid guy. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I believe he's number 44 for the Vikings. He's a fun player to watch. Anyways, they move him around. Sometimes he could line up at safety, or he could line up in the box of the linebacker. Kind of a hybrid type player. And sometimes he lines up along the line of scrimmage. They use him in a bunch of fun different ways. But one way he should never have success is when he lines up over an offensive lineman and beats the NFL offensive lineman. The guy's like 230. And he's not a pass rusher. He's not a hand in the ground pass rusher. On one of the plays, Caleb got sacked. He lined up right over Damon Shelton and just went through him like he was Aaron Donald or John Randall. That was the ugly play for me, and play that disgusted me the most. Because I'm thinking, how could an NFL offensive lineman get beat by a guy that's a defensive back, an off-ball linebacker, in a one-on-one situation? Once you pick him up, you should be able to block him. I can understand getting beat on a blitz. You know, he came in a late blitz, but you had hands on him, and he beat you like he was a pass rusher. That was my ugly. Short and simple.
If I know you got an ugly, and this week, I agree with you.
I'm not sure what you think my ugly is, but
we know what it's gonna be. Come on, Tiff, give it to us.
No. I don't even have Caleb listed. No, first off, I was clueless for a second. I'm like, I don't know what you think I'm about to say. I don't have him anywhere on my little notes, okay? So I'm going to say I'm going to do...
I am disappointed twice by the Bears and by the Tiff.
Well, hey, my heart is an icebox at this point to the Bears, so it doesn't matter. I have two bads. This one does include Caleb, but it doesn't necessarily put it on him. Our Yale rookie lineman was a direct part of that sack fumble, which really kind of, for me, changed the trajectory of the game. We would have
changed the trajectory in the game in the first quarter.
We weren't projecting anywhere. We were projecting to an L by the time they kicked off.
We probably were, but just listen. At that point, we was only down 3. We were already in field goal range. So at the worst, we were going to tie the score. But that sack fumble, what happened right after that? They scored a touchdown. Right. So we went from
whatever life we had.
We went from tying it up, at minimum tying it up, to down by 10. And we're not in the place where we can come back from deficits. Like, we can come back and almost be there. But, like, that was a turning point. And, again, it was one of those, damn, Caleb or whoever, you done fumbled again. Because before that play, I shouldn't even have thought anything. But my thought was, please don't get sacked and put us out of field goal range, because that happens over and over and over and over. And not only did we not get kicked out of field goal range, it was a damn sack fumble. So it was the worst result ever. So it was like, that was horrid to me. Again, it was only the beginning of the game, but we tied a score up there. People are feeling differently than they're feeling going down 10 to the Vikings at home on Monday Night Football. My other ugly, you all already covered it, but I'm going to be specific. How the defense time and time again let them convert third and long. Third and really long. Third and 17. Third and 14. If they had a third down, I know the Vikings were like, whoo, thank God, because we're about to convert this shit. Like, they will hold them down and get them in third and 14, third and 17, and then let them Sam Darnold be back there looking like Tom Brady or damn whoever and get whatever he wanted. So that was my other ugly. Like, why can we get them to third and long, but we can never stop them from converting third and long? That's depressing. Oh, well, I'll throw in another one. On the flip end, we went for it twice on fourth down, fourth and short, and they stopped us both times. So that was fun. Like, we couldn't stop them on third and long, and they stopped us on fourth and short, which I didn't mind us going for them 2 times, because what the hell do we have to lose? Yeah. I was fine with us going for it, but it was like, damn, we can't even get 4th and 1. But when they got 3rd and 100, they convert every time. Like, that shit is sad.
My ugly is Caleb Williams.
No, now he feel pressured to make Caleb his ugly. This is probably the least. No, you know what? It wasn't. I'm gonna let you cook, because there was some. I just blocked it from my mind. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook.
Oh, Caleb Williams had a shitty game. For one, he didn't come through for me on 2 different parlay slips. So I'm a little irritated about that.
He's finally mad. He's finally mad because he put some money on this guy. Okay.
And he was errant a little bit too often. Yeah, I know. The rush and playing that type of opponent who's always sending the house at you, you can get a little skittish from that. And he was definitely moving around in the pocket a little too much. Sometimes he didn't even look scan the field. He got the ball and was ready to start dancing right then and there. So that's a little bit on him, a little bit on the situation, the circumstances he was dealt. But there was too many open passes that he just missed. Maybe he got hit too much.
Wide open. Oh my God. That touchdown to Keenan. Now that you done mentioned it, Lord.
There was a touchdown to Rome he missed. There was another touchdown to Keenan he missed. There was an out route to Keenan that he threw too high. Keenan still should have caught that, but Keenan might be washed. He drops too much passes for me to even give him a break anymore. There was that Keenan flashed open in the middle of the field. It was a 3rd down play, if I'm not mistaken. And Keenan was the hot route, wide open in the middle of the field, right in front of Caleb's face. Missed him. Keenan had to, hydroplane it. He still couldn't catch the ball. It was so errant. In my opinion, if Caleb was just a hair better, in fact, it doesn't have to be Caleb's best game that he's played this season. If it was his average game, this game is a lot closer. It's probably a 1-score game. That's the problem I have with this. The defense constantly had their skirt pulled up yesterday. Yes, I understand it. Yes, the left tackle was a turnstile. Yes, but I'm talking about touchdown plays that we couldn't get just off of simple bad passes. We could have moved the chain more than a few times, but we couldn't because of bad passes. All of these things. I'm sorry, Caleb, it's your time, bro. And ugly. We need you to have better.
Oh, it's finally his time to have an ugly. Thank goodness. I'm glad somebody else saw something. I didn't even put him on my list this time. But I mean, to me, there were overthrows and there were bad passes, but it didn't seem any more than any other game to me. I mean, he's done this in almost every single game. So I don't know that it was more glaring in this game than I felt it's been pretty much all season. And I think Troy mentioned it. He said sacks are always, people want to talk about the O-line, O-line, O-line. And I'm not saying it like our O-line is great. We all know what our O-line is. But he said to him, sacks is a lot more on the quarterback than the O-line. And I think with Caleb, a lot of the times that is true. You know what your O-line is, but you still back there thinking you damn at USC where you got 20 years to shuck and jive and chase people down. And like that play where he got rocked, it's like, bro, you've had the ball 8 seconds at this point. Like, you've got to throw it or throw it away. It was a long time when he was dancing around and he tried to throw it to the end zone. I mean, at some point you got to realize this is the NFL. Yes, sometimes he does get away and he makes great plays. So there's got to be balance to it. But if you keep getting knocked every single time, you got to get rid of the ball, bro, and live to fight another day. Especially when you're not behind the best O-line.
Some of the hits yesterday were unnecessary on his part because he was looking for something downfield. And to be honest, in this situation, this is some on him because there are check downs, right? But we're not aiding any of the development for him. Because we're not running the screens, even though I'm sick of seeing screens. But some of the play calling wasn't in the best benefit for him or the rookie tackle, Yale man. It's like in the first quarter when I think it was third down, we ran a quarterback, design quarterback run off to the left side. Like, why would you do that for this developmental tackle? Why would he be the lead block for this type of play? That's terrible play calling. But yeah, Caleb, he got to get rid of the ball a lot earlier than he has been this season, especially knowing the situation that he's in. He's going to get killed, and I don't want to see that. He probably will get killed anyway because the general manager has done a shitty job of doing his job, and he gets my cut the crap award for week 15. Ryan Poles, I'm done with you, bro. You got to go. As soon as the last clock ticks 0 on week 18, I need you to go grab all the black garbage bags available to you and clean out your office. It's over for you. There have been there's too many examples this season of we not having the tools to complete the job. Last night was just another example. Our left tackle goes down. We have a developmental player going out there to protect Caleb Williams' blind side. Why do we have a developmental player on the roster, let alone somebody that's deemed a developmental player drafted in the third round? That's an issue. That is an issue for me. Another issue for me in that same play, Jonathan Greenard. I sat here on multiple episodes saying that needs to be a target for the Bears. We don't have a pass rush opposite Montez Sweat. Jonathan Greenard is available. He's a very good guy. Go get him. We don't. He goes to a division op, and the division op gets to killing our quarterback. I said, you know what? We need an upgrade from Chris Jackson. Who do we go get? Old man Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard's okay, but Xavier McDaniel would have been better. Where does Xavier McDaniel end up? Green Bay Packers, leading the league in interceptions, having a great season. I say, we can also use Danielle Hunter. The Vikings are going to get rid of him, but keep him in the division. No, he goes to Houston. We strike out too many times with the needs on this team, and the guy that's supposed to be buying the groceries don't go to the store with the list. Obviously, he goes to the store, playing around on his phone, and just grab the first thing and just walk back to the crib. Like, yeah, I got it. No, you didn't. You didn't get nothing we asked you out the house with. Tiff, do you know when the Bears drafted Quan Brisker, Cam Jurgens was still on the board? Cam Jurgens is the starting center for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know the Bears need a center. Same thing with the next season, the next draft. Tyreek Stevenson drafted while the number one center in that draft is still on the board. John Michael Schmitz. He's the starting center for the Giants. The Bears need a center, don't they? We drafted Velus Jones, Squirrel Man, the Otter King, or whatever pet that he had on for Hard Knocks. He was drafted early while the starting right tackle for the Seahawks was still on the board. Why do we continue to ignore an obvious area of need under the Ryan Poles regime? Ryan Poles, he was given his job, and I think he leaned too far into the Chicago thing of doing business. You either one hand wash the other, or you do the cronyism thing. There's been too many times he's gotten a player or hired somebody that he has a personal connection with. Velas, he knows him from way back when. Eberflus hired him because he did work with him with the Indianapolis Colts. And the list goes on and on and on. At this point, he's run out of favors. He's run out of favors to give, and the Bears is giving out too many checks to his friends. It's about time they cut the plug. It's about time they turn the money faucet off and cut the plug and get Ryan Poles out of Dodge. We can't do it anymore.
I don't know if we'll do it, but I'm just ready. I think the team feels like it needs a fresh start. The team looks like they done with everybody and everything. They look like they're ready to go to Cancun. They are ready to go fishing. They are done with this season. And we've had bad teams before, and I've never seen this level of what I feel like looks like don't care and quit from our teams. So whatever, we've already gotten rid of the head coach. That hadn't changed much. And I don't think this has anything to do with Thomas Brown or anything like that. But the team does not look happy. Komet, DJ, all these people that have been here for a few years now that we've kind of known their temperament, none of them look like themselves. Everybody looks frustrated every single time something doesn't go our way. So I think just a fresh start, period, from top down would be the best. And like you said, it's been some hits, but it's been a lot of misses. And the misses have been what's kind of sticking out, blaring. Like if we had gotten some offensive linemen and they just hadn't worked out, that would be one thing. But we hadn't even tried. And that's been a glaring issue since forever. So the fact that it hasn't been addressed in any substantial way, shape or form, or the defensive line, some positions we've needed on that, the fact that we didn't even try to address it, or when we did try to address it, it was the worst ever. Sorry, man, this business, we've got to stop being so slow to get rid of people. Oh, let's give them another year. We don't want to be too quick with it, but at this point, we need a fresh start. So, Poles, thanks for the ups. It's been fun. We hope you land safely somewhere, but it's probably time for a fresh start, especially if we are all in on whoever coach we feel like is the greatest thing smoking. They're going to want a level of security of knowing that the person above them ain't going to change next year.
I'm watching the game, and I got so irritated looking at Ryan Poles up in the suite. And then they pan to the Minnesota Vikings general manager, Ofadufa Menze. I think I'm saying his name right. Looking at, he's enjoying life. He's looking at his team, beating the brakes off of my team. He's got 11-2 roster that he put together when everyone thought they was going to come up, bring up the rear in this division this year. All these additions he made: Greenard, Van Ginkel, Sam Darnold, Cam Akers, Aaron Jones. All these additions he made in the offseason to make this team better. And Ryan Poles is just sitting on the other side, I see. He probably wonder how he can do it on the cheap. And what's the problem that made me the most mad? They were both hired the same offseason. You say we need to identify, bear down.
We're not bearing down until we get a win. You just wait for what?
I'm just waiting for the baseball season at this point.
I don't know why you waiting for that.
Because I'm not a White Sox fan.
I mean, you're a Cubs fan. That's not too far off.
I've taken my Bears hat off.
Taking your delusional Bears fan hat off, and you put on your delusional Cubs fan hat. Okay, I get you. Understand.
You're right. Go Cubs, go.
If anything, you're delulu. Got it. Go Cubs, no.
You thought you ATE with that one, didn't you? No,
I did not. But it still fits either way.
It doesn't.
Sorry. Okay, we'll revisit this in 10 months when they still ain't did shit.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.